y'all, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to do an interesting review right now because I've done a review on this gun before, but I think that my reviews personally might be a lot more interesting if I stopped trying to remember all the stuff that anybody can Google, okay, and just sharing my experience, which is probably why you're here in the first place. Anything that you wanted the specs for, you probably already looked into online. So today, here, and I'm going to draw it from my pocket as the thumbnail, okay, picture of the gun in my pocket. And yes, that's actually how I carry it. And let's say from right here, all right, and I'm going to draw at the beep. Ready? Beep. Okay, yeah, maybe not that fast, but you know what? I don't practice at it. But my point of that is just simply, hey, you know what? If I did need to draw it, I could draw it. Now, I got it cocked and locked right now, and it's loaded. So I'm going to go ahead and unload the gun for the purposes of this review. All right, and this is a 45 ACP, okay, and here she is. Now, this is the 1 out of 500 talo model, or talo, or I have no idea how you pronounce that. Anyways, so this is a single action only, and again, I'm not going to say all the specifics because you can look that up. But let's see, is she you know, nothing in the chamber? All right, nothing in the chamber. So let's test the grip safety there. Okay, grip safety is working. Single action only, like I said. If the hammer was down and you pull the trigger, no dice. All right, so this is a gun that you have to have that back and your hand on here, which it's not going to be that picky. Let's try it from down here. See, it's not that picky. But again, with nothing touching this at all. Now if all right, it seems like it does do what it's supposed to do. Okay, and we got some texturing back here. All right, now I'm going to say, since I changed the VZ grips to, these are standard 1911 grips, and they have no check ring. I haven't shot it yet, but I can tell you, since I've changed the grips, I mean, I've shot this gun, sure. But with the VZ grips, it was already a lot of kick, because this gun is super light. This one, and also I would say, if you want another choice for super light 1911, the Ruger SR 1911s, I want to get my hands on one of those really bad. Because simply, if you're going to carry the gun, I don't know how to put this. If a gun is too heavy, you might still carry it. Okay, I'm not saying you won't. But the more convenient you make it, the better chances that you're going to actually carry it. And not opt for either a smaller gun. Let's just say this. Smaller guns aren't really as good as a blanket statement. And I'm just saying that because they don't have as much sight radius. Okay, and that may not matter if you have an optic. And I know they're trying to make all the guns come with, you know, ready for red dots. Yes, that's a thing. So going forward, maybe that won't be such a big deal. But as of right now, as far as semi-autos, to me, the smaller they are, the more they are temperamental to limp wristing, as they call it. Like if you don't have a real good firm grip, or when the slide actuates, sometimes you might get a stovetop failure feet or whatever. Not with this gun. I'm not saying that about this gun, but I'm saying with smaller guns. So I want the biggest gun I can have for the sight radius reason, so I can get a full grip on the gun too. That's another good reason, right? And they say that the heavier gun, the better, more stability, the better accuracy, as a general blanket statement. Again, not always going to be the truth, but so basically, the idea is not to get the smallest gun you can get, but rather the opposite. I would say the biggest gun that you could comfortably carry. So some of these alloys, and of course, obviously, you can go with an mostly plastic gun like a Glock or something. Nothing wrong with that. I've got a couple Glocks too. But if you are these fancy you, if this is your thing, I would say between the Colt Defender, I'm not sure about like the officer model or whatever, but the Colt Defender and the Ruger SR19 are the alloy frames, very, very light, and yet these are not low rated guns. I'm not saying they're Cabots or whatever, but or Wilson Combat, okay? But I am saying that these guns, I keep pointing it that way just because I'm not trying to point it at myself. These guns are very light and still quality guns. So I highly recommend the Colt Defender to anybody who's interested. These also come in 9mm, I know that. So, and they do have the, actually part of the reason why I bought this rather than, and never looked at the Rock Island Armory is because of the Novak sight cut. You can get those LPA fully adjustable sights. I am a huge fan of fully adjustable rear sights. And I don't know why more people aren't all about it. I guess because maybe it's just a target thing more than a self-defense thing. But I like to be able to get as accurate as I can get at, say, 10 yards and beyond. And if I can't adjust this sight, now I don't know whether it's me or it's the gun or what it is, but I know that you can compensate for inaccuracies, whether it be the gun's fault or yours. But I just have a feeling when everybody shoots my gun and then we're all getting a little bit to the lower right or a little bit to the left, that it is actually the gun, not us. Especially when you're bench shooting and you got everything all stable. All right. Having a fully adjustable rear sight can go a long, long ways for getting that bullseye. And I'm just really a big fan of bullseye shooting. And I just, you know what, there's nothing worse than this, is handing your, you say you got somebody that's kind of a beginner, okay, like your 15-year-old kid or whatever, and you're trying to introduce them to guns, and you give them the gun, and they're constantly shooting, not that they're a bad shot, but it's not getting near the bullseye, okay, it's out there, like in the 2-ring or whatever, it's way out there. And then come to find out the gun was off, okay? Your kid thinks that they're no good. Or the beginner thinks that they're ready to give up on the hobby because they think they suck. And then lo and behold, it's the gun is inaccurate. I'm not saying this gun's inaccurate or anything like that. But what I am saying is, at least with a fully adjustable rear sight, you can get it, you can get it so that you're as accurate as possible, so that you have that confidence that it's definitely you. I'd rather know it's me than sit there and wonder. And, I got quite a few handguns. When you have 10, 15, 20 handguns, maybe 30, you can't, there's only so much you can do. You're probably not going to pay to have every one of them zeroed in. So that zeroing in is on you, and it costs ammo to do it and time. And usually you need to be alone because you'd be hogging the range time, if you bring your friends or whatever. And shooting, to me, this is a fun thing. I don't know, somebody thought it was funny or whatever, but I do like to invite my friends to go to the range. I do like to let them try out different guns so that they don't have to go rent them or buy a gun by mistake or something. I love to bring someone else to the range that has their own collection, so I can shoot some of their guns, they can shoot some of mine, we can both learn a lot about different guns at no extra expense. That makes sense to me. And again, it would suck to hand somebody a terrible gun or a terribly inaccurate gun, and then them think that the gun sucks or they suck, but really all you had to do is spend a little bit more time zeroing in that sight. And it helps if the sight has adjustments. All right, well, that's why I like the Novak, because Novak sight is a very common sight cut, okay, that you're going to be able to get for sure fully adjustable rear sights. And the Colts have this sight cut along, well, a lot of 1911s do, but also the SR 1911 by Ruger. The 1911 by Ruger also has that sight cut. I know that for sure, because I was going to buy one. I had a really hard time deciding between this and they made a certain amount of Rugers with green Cerakote, and they're good looking guns, but they seem to be sold out now, and that's what I figured was going to happen to this. You got to get your hands on it if you like it. Now it seems like the only Ruger SR 1911 I see is the stainless model, which isn't a bad choice. And I may eventually, hopefully, get my hands on one. But for now, if you want to go ahead and hit that like button, if you appreciate any information I've given you about the Colt Defender, please hit that like button, and I'd like that a lot. or maybe even subscribe if you want, if you like videos like this. Appreciate your time. Have a great day.